you guys too, okay? So if you need to speak up, unmute yourself. Okay. All right. So, I kept jumping back and forth on what I wanted to teach you guys today, and I finally decided to talk a little about organization, like how to organize yourself, how to organize your team, and how your team works, and your contact list, just a bunch of little things. Because I know that when I first started, I mean, it's gotten better. I'm not to where I want to be yet, but I'm getting more organized. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. So hopefully that's something that you guys want to learn about. Sorry, my child started crying. Okay. So, real quick, I just want to do a quick reminder about the calls that you guys should be hopping onto, or at least be listening to the recordings every week. So the first one, the most important one, is the National Wake Up Call that the Beachbody Corporate does every week. And that starts at 9 o'clock Mountain Standard Time every Monday morning. And if you don't know the number to call in, that's on our team page. I try to post the picture with who's going to talk and what the topic's going to be on, so that everybody's aware of it the night before. So make sure you remember to hop on there, or listen to the recording on the podcast app under Team Beachbody. The next thing is, remember, our team calls every Thursday at 2 o'clock p.m. I try to record all of our calls, just so I can post them for anybody who wasn't able to make it due to work or anything else that comes up. But you're going to benefit most when you're able to hop on and listen to it when we first record it. The last thing I wanted to talk about is, you're going to hear me harp about it, but it's because it's so important, and it's personal development. I don't know if, because I know I have new coaches that hopped on, and I know Alyssa has a few new coaches, and a couple other people have new coaches that have signed on. But we need to make sure that we're helping our teams understand the importance of personal development and developing ourselves, so that we can grow with our teams and that we can become better leaders through personal development. So I don't know if you guys are reading any books, or if you haven't and you want suggestions. A few of my favorites is, there's Go for No. I just read that one a couple weeks ago, and it's really good, especially if you're having a hard time hearing the word no from people when you're asking with challenge packs. That's a really good one. Then there's GoPro and The Compound Effect, which all of my coaches, when you sign up, I try to send you the copy of that book so that you guys can read that book, because that one's a really good one. My favorite one that I've read so far, though, is You Are a Badass. And I know, sorry, it's a little inappropriate. But it is really good, and it talks about, like, basically digging in deep for why you're working towards what you're doing it for. And basically everybody that's hating on you, telling you that you can't achieve something, it's having you dig deeper and believe in yourself to know that you can do it. And I'm currently reading, I'm reading 3 books, because I have an attention span of a dog. So I am actually reading this book, The Success Principle, and then I'm reading, oh man, I can't remember what it's called. It's bright pink, and it's I Am Something. I can't remember what the rest of the book is called. I'll post a picture of it on our team page. And then I'm also reading my scriptures, and I'm also reading oh my gosh, a different book and then I'm also listening to the Shalene, oh my gosh, the podcast from Shalene that she does. I'm listening to the Marketing Impact Academy. Oh my gosh. What is it called, Alyssa? I know I've told you about this one. For some reason, I can't remember what it is, and I was just listening to it this morning. Well, let me get back to you on that.
Okay, I can't remember what it's called.
I'm trying to, Build Your Tribe is one of them. And then the other one is, I can't remember the other one, but Build Your Tribe is her business one that she does, and it's really good. All right, so hopefully you guys are reading or listening to your personal development, because I know as busy moms, we don't always have that time to literally sit down and read a book. That's why I've started like 20 different books. Okay, 3. But it's because one is in a different room in my house, so when I'm sitting down to feed my daughter, then I'll usually pick it up and read it, while my other one's running around causing trouble. So just make sure you're reading your personal development. So I want to welcome all the new coaches onto our team. You guys are going to do awesome. All right, so let's just go ahead and get into the topic. So one thing that I have learned, and a lot of what I'm going to teach you, I've actually learned from listening to Shalene Johnson's podcast. So if you do already listen to her and you hear me saying some of the stuff, same stuff that she says, that is probably why, because I listen to her all the time. So last week I touched on Power Hour, but I think it was a couple weeks ago I went into what you should be working on in your Power Hour. So, and that is what is on your checklist. We're going to call it the BACT checklist, because it's your business activity tracker. That's what it stands for. So basically it just has a list of everything that you should be getting done each day. And I actually have a updated list from that diamond group that I'm in right now. And I'm actually in the process of copying all the information so that I can put it in our team page so that all of our coaches can use it too. So I thought that was pretty cool. Some of the stuff you have to have passwords, and I'm going to ask them if we can share some of the calls that require passwords so that you guys can use it too. Because I'm fine with you guys using it as long as that helps you guys. So one of the things that, like, for me, for this business, do or die every day, I always do my Power Hour. I don't care if it's 12 o'clock at night. I still consider that my previous day. And I will literally sit at my computer and I will finish. I'll finish the invites. I'll finish my personal development. I'll finish my challenge groups. I'll finish my coaches pages. That's why a lot of times you guys will see me post stuff into our team page at like 12:30 at night. That's why. But figure better late than never. And a lot of us are moms or newer moms, and so we're up at night anyways. So so the thing I guess that I want you guys to work on this week is getting more organized. Because the more organized you are as you start bringing coaches onto your team, then the more organized they'll be when they first jump in, so that they can help their new coaches be more organized that much faster too. Because it has taken me a long time to figure out certain systems, and the quicker that you as a coach find the system that works for you, the quicker you can teach your coaches. So I'm going to kind of tell a bunch of different ways that I've tried things, and something that didn't work for me will probably work for one of you guys, or for any of our other coaches. So kind of do just what works for you. My goal as a coach is the systems that I find out, I want to try to make them duplicatable so that my coaches can do the same thing, and so that they can teach their coaches to do the same thing. So one of the things that as I'm getting organized, one of the things that you want to do is you want to get your coaches started off on the right foot. And I am so bad at this, but I used to be completely horrible at doing this. So sorry, Alyssa. I was really bad doing this with you. But something that I'm trying to implement myself right now is whenever I sign up a new coach, within the first 24 to 48 hours, I want to call that coach and talk to them about their goals, their expectations that they have for me, as well as the expectations that I have for them. So for instance, I'll ask about because there's 3 types of coaches. We all know there's the 3 types. There's just the discount coach. There is the part-time coach. So they want to just work it as a hobby. And then there's the full-time coach. And they're the ones that are in it to win it. Like they want to possibly be in the top 10. They want to be an elite coach and get all the perks that elite coaches get. They want to become debt-free. Like all these things are things that you should be asking your new coach. You want to ask them and you want to instill within them the belief that they can hit whatever goal it is. So you're trying to find out what their main goal is, and then you want to break their main goal down into little baby steps. So for instance, let's say I have a coach, I'm not going to name names, but I have one coach that wants to be able to build a house. And yes, this is one of my dreams too, but this is actually one of my other coaches. But they want to build a house. So they're going to be needing to make a certain amount a year, right? So talking to her, we figured out about how big of a house that she wants and how much it's going to cost and approximately how much she's going to need every year. So we figured in order for her to reach her goals, she needs to start bringing people into her business. So we made Success Club 5 a non-negotiable thing for her. So no matter what, she needs to hit Success Club so that she knows that she's bringing in at least 3 new people a month to help every month. And that way that first month that she brings those 3 people in, that is her Shakeology that she's getting paid for with those 3 people. So that is one thing that we need to be so organized with, is starting our coaches off on the right foot, because I am super guilty of this. If you don't get your coaches in and ready to go when they're excited, then they're just going to trickle off, and then you just won't see them. And that's really hard, especially when we know what this business can do for our families. So just make sure you're getting your coaches started off right. So I don't care how you guys do it. I have been doing mine with calls, and then I will have them fill out the 7-day quick start guide before we get on the call. I'll send them the 7-day quick start guide. They fill it out, and that way when we get on the call, if they have any questions about anything, they can ask me those questions while we're on the call together. And I literally go through, I thought I brought my planner up here, but I actually schedule out a whole hour for that first call. And so I try to do it when my husband's home so that he can watch the kids. So that is what I do with my coaches. So really quick, while I run downstairs to make her a bottle, I want you guys to write down what you're going to ask your coaches when they call, or when you call them for the first time. Then I'm going to ask you guys one thing, because I know that you guys have things that I'm missing. Okay? So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So Alyssa, why don't you go first? And I'll unmute you. There you go.
Okay, so you wanted us to like talk about like what we want to go over with our new coaches?
Yep. On your
you were saying?
Yeah, when your coaches call you, I guess just share one quick thing that maybe I didn't mention that you are going to ask your coaches when you call them for their first call with you.
Oh man. Okay.
I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah. No, I was trying to think of like things that I thought about when I was first starting, and I guess like one of the biggest things for me was like, I don't know if this counts or something, but it was coming up with like my dreams for my business, I guess, like what exactly, like why, not necessarily why I'm doing it, but like a dream of mine and why I need to make this money. And so like making like the vision board, like that's one thing I would suggest, is like coming up with like, I think that's a really vital thing because it's what motivates me every day. And so like I have it on my computer. So every day when I get on my computer, I see why I'm doing this. And so I think that the biggest thing is they need to think about like what their dream goal is in the end, I guess, and like make that like something that they can look at every day. But I can't think of necessarily like a question to ask them. I mean, obviously I feel like they would have all the questions mainly for me in the beginning.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's a really good one. I actually really like that idea. And for the new coaches that are going to watch this later, I actually had all of my coaches, I don't know, was it a month ago probably?
I think it was like 2 months ago, yeah.
Yeah. It was like 1 month or 2 months ago. I actually had all of my coaches get on PicMonkey, and I had them create a dream board that they could put on their desktop or that they could print off and hang it somewhere in their house where they would see it every day to help remind them of what kind of goals that they have set for themselves. And they don't even have to be business related. Like on mine, for instance, my husband makes fun of me all the time, but one of mine pictures that I have up is a picture of Autumn and her abs, because that is what I'm working towards. I want Autumn's abs, okay? So that's one of the pictures that I have on mine. And seriously, I'm just telling you guys that I'm getting some of Autumn's abs. Just telling you. I may have a lot of work to go, but I actually I'm starting to get some abs, so that's awesome. Okay, so Mandy, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so what's something that you wish that your coach would have talked to you about? Sorry, Alyssa. Or and you can be honest, she can take it. I know her very well. Or something that you're going to maybe ask your coaches or help them with when they first sign on.
I think my biggest one right now is I've been able to generate a lot of interest in Beachbody through social media or through for Shakeology and stuff like that. And so I have a lot of people that have come to me. Their biggest problem right now that I'm encountering is the retail cost. And so I'm trying to just kind of turn them discount coach, but I just don't really know what all that entails. And it's not really Alyssa's fault because I just signed on like 4 days ago or something, and I've been sick, so we haven't gotten a chance to really like get together and talk about that. But that's one of the major things I feel like a lot of people need to get in and understand. Like, I need to know how to enroll people. I need to
that's a good one.
And where to tell them. And especially my other big concern is I am living in Utah, but I'm initially from Wisconsin. So a lot of my interest, people who are interested are back in Wisconsin. So it's hard to kind of communicate with them and get them to understand, you know, what they need to be doing as far as their side of the business as well.
Awesome. That's a good point. And I'm glad that you actually brought that up, because I'm actually going to touch on that right now. So I will be honest, I only have, I think it's, well, now I don't even think I have any local coaches that are building their business where I actually live. All of my coaches are all over the United States. So one thing, I don't know if I did it for you. I don't think I was smart enough when I signed you up. But one of the things that I do with my coaches that don't live around me is I still set up a Zoom call. So just like this, it's completely free, and you can create an account, and that way you can use it for your team calls or your coach one-on-ones, which I highly recommend because it helps you connect with your coaches on a more personable level, I guess you could say. And it makes it to where we can do this from wherever we are. Like, it doesn't matter if the coach doesn't live in the same state. For instance, Alyssa lives in Utah and I live in Idaho. Like, we Zoom chat. I'm constantly texting her. We're messaging back and forth. And, like, distance has never been, like, an issue for us. And that's one thing that you have to, that's the best thing I think about this business is you do not have to live close. You can live wherever you want. And I think that's part of the reason why it's so successful too. The other thing, when you're talking about teaching them how to enroll customers, I completely agree, because that is one of the things that you need to know when you first sign up, or when you're first talking to your coach. They're going to wonder the same thing, because the second you post those before and afters for the first time, people are going to immediately start wanting to know what you're doing. And you're going to want to know how to deal with those customer or potential customers and how to talk them through it. And as far as the discount coaching goes, basically the difference is they sign up just like we do. Basically, it's just a name that we give them. We just give them the discount coach name, and they're strictly just there to get the 25% off. And the thing you have to explain to people is, especially with the Shakeology, is when you sign them up as a discount coach, they get a 25% off of anything, including the Shakeology. So with tax and shipping, that comes for the Shakeology, it's $105 a month. But then you think, oh, well, we have our coach's fee. You just have to explain to them that we're charged that $15 fee so that they can keep our websites updated. So if there is that day that they did decide that they wanted to grow their business, or they just wanted to get their Shakeology paid for, then their website is there so that they can use it if they choose to build the business later on. So that's something that we have to talk to them about. And even with that $15.95 fee, they're still saving $16 a month on the Shakeology, even with the coach's fee tacked on top of the Shakeology. So explain that to them as well. The best thing to do is just be honest and upfront. But I found that the more information that I give without them responding back, the more overwhelmed they feel. So maybe just show them, give them like little, I guess, bites of the pizza, so to speak. Like, just give them little breadcrumbs and let them ask you the questions. So you give them a little information, and then they'll usually ask another question. That way you aren't making them feel so overwhelmed. And then them feeling overwhelmed is going to make them scared, and then they're going to back off. So just give them little breadcrumbs at a time. So that's what I've learned this past year that I've been coaching. So if that is one piece of advice, I would advise that way. And I'm actually working up a script right now of how I've been working on it for a good month probably. But hopefully within the next week, I'll be able to finish it, at least part of it, so that I can share it with you guys. But it's kind of some of the things that I use to start conversations with people. One of the biggest things and tips that I'm going to give you guys is when you're inviting people, if you haven't talked to this person in years or even months, don't send the invite. Like, don't say, hey, I'm starting this 30-day challenge group, would you want to be in it? Like, don't do it if you haven't talked to that person in a while, because you want to build that relationship so that they trust you. And then the more relationships that you build And there will come a point to where either you get a feeling that you need to invite them then, or there will be a time when they ask about it. So those are my 2 cents on that. So now that I went off on a tangent. Okay, so going back to the power hour, I try to set a time every single day of when my power hour is going to be. And that power hour is not interrupted for me. So if you have to wake up an hour earlier before your kids wake up, do that. If you need to work on it while your kids are napping, do that. Or even when they go to bed at night, if that's the only time that you have to work on your business, do that. You guys have to find what works for you, because everybody is going to be different, but you need to make sure that you're getting that power hour done every single day. And one thing that Shalene taught me real quick is when I am working on my power hour, I actually put my phone on airplane mode so that I have no distractions. I'll text my husband and I'll say, hey, I'm getting ready to start my power hour. Don't try to call me because I'm not going to answer for the next hour. So I will literally put my phone on airplane mode so that I can't get any calls or text messages. And I know it's really hard because Facebook is just so distracting. But I literally get in, I check on my challenge groups, I post in my challenge groups, and I get off. And that way, you still, I mean, later if you want to hop on and read about people's lives, like that's your deal, not mine. But a lot of people are going to complain about the time issue, and this is one thing that I have actually thought about all week that I wanted to share with you guys. A lot of people make up the excuse that they don't have the time. You have to think about what you are willing to sacrifice to get the dreams and hit the goals that you have set for yourself. So for me, I love my Bachelor and Bachelorette and all that junky drama show. Like, I love that stuff. And it's only because, I mean, I don't like being a part of it, but I like watching other people fight with each other. I find it amusing sometimes. But so that's one of the things that I have to give up sometimes. I give up those TV shows. Like, you don't need to be sitting down and watch TV when you can work on your business, right? You can be listening to your personal development while doing your laundry, while you're cleaning your house. Other things that you can give up. I know that, I mean, and some of these you guys aren't going to agree with, but some of them you might say, hey, like that might actually work. So you might have to give up a little bit of sleep, like an hour of sleep or 2 hours of sleep. You might have to give up your favorite TV show. You might have to give up the baby shower, and you can still send them a nice gift. But if you know that your husband's going to be home, like for me, when I know my husband's going to be home, I know that I have extra time to work on my business, and he is very supportive of that. And so sometimes I have to give up baby showers or some other things, like, oh, I had a really good one the other day that I thought of. I know some people like reading. I hate reading, so maybe I'll have to give up some reading time. But I don't like reading. My husband brought up a really good idea yesterday, and I can't even remember what it was. So just think in your head of those things that you're willing to sacrifice right now so that you can achieve your goals later. And that's one thing that's helped me a ton. So right now, or I guess this next week, I want you to come up with ways that you're going to help organize your business. So I showed you guys last week how to print off your contact list off of Facebook. So all your friends, I taught you how to print a list of them off on Facebook. So I don't know if you guys have printed those off yet already, but that is how I keep track of my contacts. I told them that I have tabs for people that I've talked to that are interested in coaching. I have people tabbed with a different color with these awesome little sticky notes here. I have people tagged that want to join my challenge group, but they're currently saving money to start a challenge group. I have people tagged that wanted me to contact them when a certain program's on sale again. There's also another thing that I told everybody last week that I was going to look into more and feel a little bit more comfortable before I taught you guys. but it's using Asana to keep track of your contact list. So certain programs that they're interested, you can put tags and search people that way, but I'll go into that next week. I'm really hoping that by next week I can show you guys that, because it's actually really cool. Then I like hard copies of things, so I have spreadsheets and tablets that I take notes in. I have a tablet for all the national wake-up calls. I have a tablet for all the summit recordings. I have a tablet for all the team calls that I do, so that I know what I've talked to you guys about. So just becoming more organized is going to be beneficial to you as well as your team. So this week, I want you guys to come up with ways and systems that is going to help you and your team. A lot of people worry about, like, I know that I'm still worried about this. I'm a diamond coach, and I keep switching, like, my logo and what I stand for. Don't worry about that for now. I mean, now that I hit diamond, I now have to worry about it because now I have to work on other things. But up until that point, you don't really need anything set in stone. But it will help your team the better your systems are now, and as you start signing up those coaches. So I encourage you guys to work on creating your systems this week. Try the power hour thing. I want you guys to set a time this week to work on your power hour no matter what, and fill out your BAT forms. And I'm actually going to post that updated list in hopefully right after I get off this call, so that you guys can print them off and use them. Do you guys have any questions really quick before we're done? We have to be done in like 3 minutes. Mandy, do you have any questions? Because I know you're a little bit newer.
Yeah, so I guess my major one I have is like, so I know that in order to sign up for a coach, I bought a challenge pack, but I'm confused between the difference of buying a challenge pack. Is there a difference between buying a challenge pack to be a coach, or just buying a challenge pack just because you want the discount, you know, that it offers, and you just want to do that program and like try Shakeology? Like, I'm confused. If you buy a challenge pack, are you automatically signed up as a coach?
Oh, okay. So I think I get what you're saying. So when you sign up for a challenge pack, if you do not order a challenge pack as a coach, you have to sign up. You have a sign up fee of $40. But the way that I have taught my coaches is, basically, you would be, okay, I'm sorry, you're stupid if you don't get a challenge pack, because as a coach, especially a business building coach, you are going to want those products so that you can start using them for yourself and showing people how those certain products are helping you currently. And usually when a discount coach signs up, they want the discount on the products, and so it would make no sense for them to sign up with the $40 coaching fee if they didn't want any of the product in the first place. Does that make sense? And then the challenge pack is any program of their choice and a bag of Shakeology. So that is what the difference is, I guess.
Okay, so like, what
if you sign up without the challenge pack,
you have to pay
then you have to pay the $40 on top of whatever the programs. So for instance, I know that the 21-day fix, I know that right off the top of my head for a customer is it's $70. 70? I know it's 60 for us, and it's 70.
70 something for them.
Yeah, for them. So it's $70 plus on top of that it's another $40. So that's $110 right there, right?
Yeah.
So basically for another $30 you can get the coach's feed and you can get a bag of Shakeology on top of it. So and that actually helps you with Success Club points too, because for every challenge pack that you sell, you get 2 Success Club points. So that actually helps you too in the long run.
Okay. So what are challenge groups that you do on Facebook? Like, are those just coaches, or are these people who have also just signed up? Like, I'm confused as to what that is. If it's different from a coaching group, or if it's the same thing.
Okay, so the real quick, because I have less than a minute to
Well, I
talk.
was gonna say Mandy's coming over in a second, so I can show her the
Yeah.
difference
Okay.
too.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the challenge groups right now, I have a combination of my coaches and my challengers in it. And I actually have 2 groups going right now. But like Alyssa, I bet next month if she wanted to, she could run her own because she has enough people to go into her groups. So then she would take her challengers and her coaches